welcome back to the Matrix. You're not the Matrix, you are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today we got ourselves a banger daily market news and analysis. What is up? What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Make sure you guys are spamming that like button, hitting the share, so other people can spam that like button. Let's get into it, y'all. All right, as of the time of recording, it is June 25th, 2025, and Bitcoin is within a striking distance of setting an all-time high. Ye of little faith, people are panic selling. Oh my God, but what about World War III, Ski? We're within 4% of an all-time high. The NASDAQ just made an all-time high. But Ski, what about World War III? Okay, run it. Run it. Either A, the bottom is in and we are going to an all-time high, or B, it doesn't matter anyways. That's it. That's where we're at. I could not imagine panic selling right now. Couldn't be me. Could not be me. But as it stands, Bitcoin basically is following the ABC correction that we had from 2023 to a T, like literally from the accumulation to the breakout to the chopping sideways to the peak to the ABC correction to the break up. We'll probably chop a little bit before going higher. I anticipate for the next couple of weeks that Bitcoin will make an all-time high. The NASDAQ made an all-time high today. Crazy world we're living in. It's crazy, bruh. Every day I be hustling. What's up, Richard? Richard. What's up, Justin? He's got the SpongeBob. He's got the SpongeBob. What's up, brother? Greetings from Mormon. Just lost my phone. Yes, I made a bill yesterday. Let's go. Ethereum. Ski Roy Jenkins. What is up? I'm just going to hold it. All right, let's check out ETH. Let's get into Ethereum. So basically, Bitcoin is following this fractal. The ABC is completed, and I do not think that a new low is coming in. That's it. The bottom's in, boys. Buy the dip or panic sell, but the bottom is in. All right? The bottom is in, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. Either A, we're making an all-time high, or B, it doesn't matter anyways. That's it. Those are our options. All right, let's check out Ethereum. As of the time of recording, is getting very close to confirming this as a bear trap. So Ethereum, to me, this is still a massive bull flag, but I would like to see it get back to 2,600 to confirm this as a bear trap. If we get back to 2,600, and that would confirm this as a bear trap and still being in a bull flag. The bull flag will break us to about $3,300. And realistically, that's all Ethereum is going to need to do to really kick off everything. Because Bitcoin rising into this next leg, that's it. It's the beginning of the end for Bitcoin. All right, we're getting to 138. We're getting to $207,000. But this will be the most euphoric time yet for Bitcoin. When is retail going to enter into the space? When we're at all-time highs. After it's too late. That's when. After it's too late. Yo boy. 115 Bitcoin tomorrow. I don't think by tomorrow, no. So many panic sellers at the bottom and rebuying 30% higher. What's up, Ski? What is up, fam? Good to see you guys. Good to see everybody. Make sure you guys spam the like button, hitting the share so other people can spam that like button. So basically, this is where I think Ethereum is at right now. Confirmation of a bear trap is going to be $2,600. That would confirm it as a bear trap. Solnick contract address. Solnick is my number one 100x play. I put out a tweet about what I think that we're doing. I put out a video in the Telegram about that. But in a nutshell, Wyckoff accumulation, phase C in the macro. Literally the best price you're going to get. Period. All right, let's go to XRP. XRP to me has already been confirmed as a bear trap. This is already back in the range, and I anticipate us to get to the $2.43 range, taking out this price right here as a higher high, come back test it again, probably around $2.25 before making the final push. When can I quit my job at McDonald's? You're going to have to keep flipping those patties for a little bit longer. Keep stacking and keep flipping. Keep flipping and keep stacking. When Lexus. Need that Lambo money. I'll never have a Lambo. Just not my style. To each their own. When new tractor. The tractor is up and running. She ain't new, but she's new to me. You know what I'm saying? She's new to me and she's up and running. She's already at Ski's farm. Putting in that work. You're getting soft. Putting in that work. Putting in that work. All right, let's check out the DXY. Quietly at 97. Still continue to make lower lows. All right, let me read this comment. Oh. All right, so he says, since you say alt season is coming, how long do you think this euphoria will last for? 3 months minimum. 9 months is pretty much the maximum. Somewhere in that time frame. If I had to pick a number, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by its toe, lucky number 11, it would be 6 months. I think we're going to have about 6 months of euphoria. And listen, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm telling you right now. That motherfucker's not. I'm telling you right now. You better have a plan in place. Because even I am prone to getting caught up in the nonsense. When the nonsensical time comes, I'm telling you, you better have a plan. Right now, you need to have a plan. Before the euphoria gets here. Because you're going to get caught up in it, just like people get caught up in the fear, and they sell when World War III is on our doorstep. They're going to be buying when the United States is buying Bitcoin. Whatever. I don't know what the actual thing is going to be. I don't know. Ripple flipped the switch and the world is going to XRP. I don't know what the thing's going to be, right? But there's going to be some of the most bullish news you've ever heard in your entire life at the top. And you're going to feel like an idiot for wanting to sell. And that's going to be the perfect time to sell. And you better have your plan in place with your numbers right now. That's all I'm going to say. I have plan. We're going to steal the moon. I'm happy with the 2x at the moment. Everyone's happy with the 2x until they actually get a 2x. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone's happy with the 2x until you get a 2x. Everyone's happy with a 4x until you get a 4x. And then all of a sudden, like, you wanted to pay off your car, and now you want to pay off your house. Everyone's happy with a 4x until you get a 4x. And you wanted to pay off your house, but now you want a new house. Right? It's always something. Everyone, it's human nature to move the goalpost. So all I'm saying is, if you're happy with a 2x, that's fine. That's great. Then have a plan and really take action and be okay with leaving a 4x on the table. Like, really. Can you please look at Uniswap short term? I longed at 775. If I remember right, Uniswap was one of the few that was actually holding up very, very strong even during the war, which was kind of crazy to think about. even the height of the war, it was holding up super strong. Yeah, it didn't even make a lower low. Like one of the few that didn't even put in a lower low was Uniswap. It says he longed at 715. I think you're okay there. Just keep your stops tight, but you have a nice uptrend here. 715, not 75. Did I say 75? I didn't mean to say 75. ZBAC, listen, ZBAC already did a 9X. ZBAC is not the play. I'm telling you right now, ZBAC is not the play. ZBAC did a 9X in 45 days. That is not what you want to be buying. That's what you want to be selling. Not financial advice. Retest to 97K. If we're lucky, blessed, and highly favored. I don't think so, though. I don't think so. I laid out the stipulation. Like I talked about this, I think it was 2 days ago. Yesterday, I had a pretty bad migraine, if I remember right. But basically, there's two stipulations on how this ABC correction plays out, right? You have the blue one right here, which was 2024, and that would be more grueling. And I would say that we're already in here, right? This is more grueling, and then you just kind of chop higher until you finally break out of the bull flag. And then you have the 2023 iteration, which I think that we're following more the 2023 iteration. And also, I said confirmation that this is what we're doing would be 95K daily body close. That's what we got. We're already here. So can it happen like T13? Yeah, it can, but it doesn't look as likely at this moment in time. No. Thank you for the gifts. Shiba, I think will 3x to 5x to 10x. Low, medium, high. Says thank you. Agreed with the statement. 2x, need that 3x, need that 4x. Stick to your plan. That's right. Stick to your plan. Listen, I'm going to humbly brag on myself for a second. And I'm just giving you an example. And I'm going to be like transparent, real, honest, right? So back with XRP. Everybody knows XRP is one of my biggest bags, right? But I'm not an XRP maxi though. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. Right? So it's a weird position to be in. So I accumulated all this. I accumulated all this. I accumulated all of it. I accumulated some of this over here too. Right? My average price on XRP was 20-30 cents. Somewhere in that neck of the woods. I'm not exactly sure. My plan was to sell 30% at $3.33. I think we got to 340. When we were at $3.33, I would be lying to you if I didn't think, if a part of me was like, I don't know. If a part of me was like, maybe we should just wait a little bit longer. I'd be lying to you if I told you that. That would be a lie. Okay, so me selling at $3.33 wasn't like I was, this razor assassin who figured out exactly when the time the top, baby, on the top, on the day, on the hour, we're never going to be in the red. It wasn't like that. It was, I had a plan in place over here, and I stuck to that plan. And I would be lying to you if the social pressure over here at $3.40 of people selling me I was an idiot. Like, we can go and look on the YouTube video right now. We could pull up the YouTube video. When I made the video, I said I bought a farm, I sold my XRP, and I bought a farm, right? We can look at the comments right now, and there was a lot of people that were pissed. And they're like, he's selling it for pennies. Right? It wasn't like I'm just this assassin trader. It was, I had a plan in place and I executed that plan. And I did feel some social pressure, but I executed it anyways because it was my plan for years. Okay? Can you show me guns? I got you, bro. Right here. Don't you worry. Yeah, I got you, bro. So anyways, that's the whole point. I'm not bragging on myself or anything like that. What I'm saying is, like, it's important to have a plan when things are boring. Guns does not have enough data. Let me see if I can find a better chart. Yeah, there's not enough data for me to give you a correct analysis on that one. Sorry, bro. ADA, my prediction for ADA is $2, $4, $6, $8. That's where I will be taking profit, regardless of what the sentiment is, regardless of Charles Hopkinson, and regardless of the ADA. But why would you sell, Ski? Because there's an ADA strategic reserve. I don't care what happens. That's where I'm taking profit. You hear me? That's where I'm taking profit. XRP, please. $5, $8. We just went over 8 XRP. $3.33. True God. Look, I'll show you the video. Let me pull up YouTube. Like, we could just, like, we could look at the comments. Because I'm telling you, like, how it really is. It's just really like this. Okay? My internet is so slow. Hold on. I want to show you the comments on this video, cuz it's so funny. Is this a live stream? Like, what in the world? Hold up. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Like, I want y'all to just look at these comments. I know there was definitely... That's so bad. Sorry to hear that. Just don't look at the charts in March. There was a lot of people that were happy for me. There definitely was. But I'm telling you right now, you go through these comments and you will see people were mad. Soon the price will fly and you'll regret selling. There was definitely a lot of people that were happy for me. I'm not going to be like, but there was a lot of people that were like, not having it. All right, XEN. When was that date? So y'all don't think I'm like BSing over here. Like, what date did I actually upload this video? January 25th, 2025. That means I already sold and I already bought. The farm. Because I think I bought the farm in... I don't remember when I bought it. So there you go. The price was $3.20, but I already recorded the videos, already uploaded, all that stuff. So that shows you somewhere in this range is the date that I actually sold. All right, do you expect a super cycle going to extend to mid-2026? It's possible. Can you TA XEN? I can. Sup, fam? Do you still think bull run will peak November? Yes, I do. That's what I think, but I'm open-minded. All right, let's check out XEN. The point of this story, again, the point is to have a plan in place and stick to your plan. That's the point. That's the point. Because I'd be lying if I didn't feel it too. People telling me. Right? When do you think Solnic will break a downtrend? Solnic is not in a downtrend. I mean, micro, you could say it's in a micro downtrend. It's in phase C of accumulation. I went over this morning. We'll talk about it after this. But this, it's doing the same thing as, I mean, literally the same chart as XEN here. Right? If you want to say that this is a downtrend, sure. But, like, not really. Markdown accumulation. This is your selling climax. This might be your secondary test. Retracement is 3 cents. Excuse me, 3 cents. Parabolic in the micro is 11 cents. Let me pull up Solnic, because I just went over this. Here we go. Yeah. This is accumulation. So this is your markup, distribution, markdown, macro accumulation. This has the same chart as Ethereum in 2022. Okay? The bottoming structure of Ethereum. On the top is Solnic. On the bottom, we will put Ethereum. All right, what I wanted to show you. Here is Wyckoff accumulation. All right. Phase C is the variable. Sometimes you get a spring, which goes lower than the secondary test in phase B. Sometimes you get an LPS. That's the real variable. So it could be a double bottom. It could be lower. It could be a higher, like an LPS. In the case of Ethereum, the selling climax was right here. 2022. June of 2022. So when Luna went to 0, that was the bottom for Ethereum. It has not went lower to this day, right? And has been on an uptrend from that moment. It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it's been on an uptrend, but that's what it's done since June of 2022. And then when we look, even, when is this? Excuse me, November of 2022 when FTX went to 0. So Bitcoin was like at 18K with Luna. And then, like, we'll pull this up too. So Bitcoin was at like 18, 19K when Luna went to 0. And then when Ethereum, or when FTX went to 0, it went lower, but Ethereum did not. Here we go. All right, so here's the June. This is the same. So what I'm showing you is there's different structures on how a bottom comes in. So that is the selling climax. This is the selling climax. This is the selling climax. Ethereum never made a new low. This would be your secondary test in phase B or your spring LPS, whatever you want to call it. LPS is what I would probably classify this as. This is the same thing. It's still a higher low in the macro Wyckoff accumulation. That's not the typical structure, though. Typically, what you see is like what Bitcoin did. Bitcoin put in a lower low. But there are cases when that's how it happens. But this looks exactly like Ethereum to me. The same as Ethereum. The same bottoming structure that came in for Ethereum in 2022. Your markdown, your selling climax, chop, you had this automatic reaction and kind of chopping right here, automatic reaction, chopping, and then you took out this bit of support here. We'll put a little box here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let's do a rectangle this way. So this was support. And then Ethereum came and took all that out. Same thing for Solnic. Screwed that up. This was support. Came and took it all out. Same thing. For the same, you could call this your LPS. That's what I'm going to call it, is the LPS, which is right here, phase C. But ultimately, it's higher than the selling climax. That's how Ethereum bottom came in. That's how Solnic's bottom looks like it's coming in. And then it went on to put in the macro sign of strength. That's all that this huge time frame was. This was your sign of strength right here. That's all that Ethereum has done. Is it put in a huge sign of strength. That's it. This was the sign of strength. This is the BU. Now, the thing that is different with Solnic versus Ethereum is this is on a very compressed time frame because this has already had multiple iterations in one go around, where Ethereum, this took 4 years. This took a year and a half to have 2 legs. This took 4 years, 5 years to do 1.5 legs. So I think that this is on a much more condensed time frame, and the sign of strength is going to take you to 8 million. We'll probably get a back test again, probably to 5 million, 6 million, before going to 40 plus million on the next micro leg. But I still have the same bet. By the end of the bull run, Solnic will reach 10 cents, 7.5 cents, or I will shave my beard, period. Can we look at USDD? When are we going to break 108? We just got to 108. We were just, listen, I need you to have some perspective, my brethren. My brethren in Christ, I need you to have a little bit of perspective. When are we going to break 108 is the wrong question. Do you know why it's the wrong question? Because we were just at $97,000. How many days ago? Was that 45 days? Was that 60 days ago? Was that 30 days ago? How many days was that? Oh, that's right. 3 days ago. What do you mean? Bitcoin just did 10% an entire year of stock market gains in 3 days. I think we make an all-time high in the next 2 weeks. That's what I'm saying. Comparing Poo Coin to ETH is diabolical. I'm not comparing Poo Coin. I haven't brought up Poo Coin once. I'm comparing Solnic. What does Ethereum do that Solnic doesn't? Oh, they have staking. Oh, that's right. Solnic has staking too. 4% of the total supply is staked right now. Comparing PooCoin to Ethereum is diabolical. Ethereum has staking. Does Ethereum have a feature documentary? Ethereum hasn't outperformed Solnic. Not to the upside, not to the downside. What does Ethereum do that Solnic doesn't? You let me know. You let me know. Just say you sold the bottom and move on, bro. It ain't that deep. It ain't that deep. Says, I bought the top and sold the bottom. We got a real one. Bitcoin up, everything else is trash. What do you think about just holding blue chips this bull run? I think blue chips should be the majority of your portfolio, yeah. High conviction, that's what I would say. High conviction. Go with what you know. What do you know about? What do you believe in? Are we target? I got you. I got you, brother. My brethren in Christ. Yeah, this is in accumulation right now. Selling climax, secondary test in phase B, and this would be your spring. Distribution, this is your retracement to the 0.5. Distribution, markdown, reaccumulation. So I'd pull a fib off of here and honor the retracement again, $25. Ski, do you think Powell could cut rates by September? I think there's not a world that he doesn't cut rates or still has a job. That's what I think. Like there's not a world that exists where Powell does not cut rates and has a job by September. Do you know what I'm saying? Like either he will or somebody else will. Dana White's on the VeChain board. Yeah, I don't think ETH will do a 100x either. Can you look at Pepe? I sure can. What are your top 5 blue chips? Bitcoin, VeChain, Link, XRP, Solana. Now, those are not my top 5 blue chips for ROI, though, necessarily. If you're asking me top 5 blue chips for ROI, it would be VeChain, Link, probably Quant, ADA, what would be number 5? What's my 5th? Probably Uni. ICP maybe. There you go. There's 6. Alex was correct on the ABC correction. Alex was indeed correct. Pepe is not number 5. I like Rose. Bitcoin Dominance topped? I think so. Parabolic? 113. Hey, Ski, can you please explain a bit? Let's say a coin goes on a bull run, the same like Wyckoff scheme. What do you mean? Can you elaborate on your question? Like, what exactly are you asking me? All right, let's look at Pepe. Next Fed meeting 29th and 30th. Yeah, I think that they cut by the next Fed meeting, to be honest. I don't see a world where they don't cut by September. Literally. All right. But that's not what I do. I'm not a predict what Jerome Powell and Trump's going to do. That's not how I make my investment thesis. Do you look at liquidity heat maps in your analysis? A little bit, but I don't like, you know, I don't, This is what I would say to indicators. Everything is something, nothing is everything. You'll see so many times everything gets invalidated. You have to use a lot of intuition. I use mostly Wyckoff and Fibonacci's. To me, that is the most accurate. I used a little bit of Elliott Wave. I used a little bit of heat maps. I used a little bit of I use a lot of the psychology of it, right? Trying to figure out what is retail doing and thinking. What is the institutions doing and thinking? I trade by the moon. So a coin should go as it's shown on the Wyckoff. Yes. Thoughts on Dogecoin? I think Dogecoin is going to do a $1.11 to $2.22. 5, 8, and 12. Yes, that's correct. Solana price prediction 4, 20, 5, 10, 600. High, medium, low. Hey, if Bitcoin hits 180, would you sell half and buy back in the bear? Probably. But Bitcoin to me is a little bit different. I mostly save my money in Bitcoin. But I probably would at that point. That would be a number where I would be willing to part with a lot of my Bitcoin. Eli says, I don't think retail piles in until after rate cuts and Bitcoin clears 120. I agree. That's the thing. Listen, somebody just said it on my Twitter today. They were talking specifically about Solnic, but the same principle applies to everything. And they're like, when are the new holders coming? And literally what I said was, this is true for every asset, not just for Solnic, but every asset. The new holders don't come until new all-time highs, and that is a fact of the matter. I wish that were not the case, but that is the reality. New people do not buy assets until it's already FOMOing and seizing, until it's already at all-time highs. Clearly at an all-time high. How long for Doge to do that? I think Doge will do that in the next year. If you're calling for a top in November, do you think that's enough time for 207? Yes, I do. We're talking about less than a double. So, like, has there been a time where Bitcoin has doubled in less than 6 months? Has that occurred? I would say yes. Absolutely. How about right here? 90 days, one double. How about right here? This was not a double, but this was 46 days. It did a 52%. So yes, we're talking about less than a double. Does it take 6 months for Bitcoin to double? No, it does not. It goes through these long, grueling periods, and then it goes explosively. Why are you bullish on Flux when it's in a macro downtrend? I think it's in macro Wyckoff accumulation. Could Solnic reach 5 cents in July? Absolutely it could. Are you long or short on anything currently? Yes. I'm mostly long. Clear pool. John says, also, since you're into moon phases, what about numerology? When Bitcoin was created, rat year, the next year, horse year being enemy signs, which lines up with 2026 bear market. It's not that deep for me. Again, everything is something, nothing is everything. But yeah, I think so. Like, I think we'll be in a bear market in 2026. I think we're going to be in euphoria at the end of 2025. I am a little bit inclined to make decisions based off of numerology, I guess. Right? So I think, like, an example is XRP. My target was $3.33. I think the actual target was $3.35 if I did like actual technical. And if it's close to a weird number like that, I will just round down or round up to, like, if, example, like, let's say the target for Bitcoin is 190K. I will probably round down to 188K. Or if the target was 95K for Bitcoin, I would probably round down to 88K. Stuff like that. Do you think we get a euphoric alt season? Yes, we do. And I think it's closer than we think. I think it's much closer than we think. What do we get on Pepe? Think it can break an all-time high? I think it'll break an all-time high. Is Casper a good buy? I think so. How close? How close are we? Well, okay, so this is my base thesis. Let's do this. My base thesis is the next leg for Bitcoin is going to be 118,000. My base thesis is the next macro leg for Bitcoin is going to bring the euphoria with it. Right now, Bitcoin is let's go wick to wick. Right now, Bitcoin is 3.42% from having an all-time high. So how close are we? When does retail pile in? It's not before an all-time high. So that's going to be step number one. Bitcoin needs to be an all-time high. And it doesn't need to be just like wicking at an all-time high. It needs to be properly at an all-time high. So daily body closes at 3.42%. That's number one. And the difference between 111,000 and 120,000 could very well be a day. We've seen it all too many times. In fact, 3 days ago, Bitcoin was at 97K. Do you understand? 3 days ago, Bitcoin was at 97K. So, yes, it's closer than you think. Like how quickly things will shift. The old adage goes, nothing quite like price will change sentiment. What does that mean? When Bitcoin is at an all-time high, when Ethereum gets to 3,300, it doesn't matter what the narrative is. Guess what? We're going to feel awesome about it. Solnick just came out with staking, but people don't feel awesome about it, even though 4% of the total supply is locked. More than, almost 5% of the total supply is locked, and that number is growing. But people don't feel awesome about Solnick, because why? Because the market dipped because of the war. Did it need to? No. Did people panic sell? Yeah. Is that part of life? So whatever the events are, it doesn't matter how people feel about it. They feel awesome when it's at all-time high. That's it. That is it. So when we reach euphoria, do we liquidate everything or wait for the bear market? You should take. I'm never a fan of taking 100%. I believe in DCAing. That is my base philosophy. So what does that mean? Like, I think 20% increments is the way to go, right? So an example. Let me just give you my full exit strategy on XRP. Again, I'm going to give you an example of how I operate and how my plan has been. And then you can formulate it for your own desire or for your own benefit. right? So I accumulated XRP for literally 5+ years. And I got the average price of about 20, 30 cents, somewhere in that range. Let's call it 30 cents. That was my average price on XRP. Okay? So here was my plan at 30 cents. Okay? 10% at $1.11. I sold 10% at $1.11. 10% at $2.22. I sold 10% at $2.22. 30%. So 333 was my first big take profit, and I ended up doing 40% because I needed more money for what I was trying to do. So the plan was 30%, but I ended up doing 40% at 333. All right? Now, the rest, so that means the $5 target and the $8 target are going to be a little bit light because I sold more at 333. That's fine with me. The rest is going to be, so that's 60%. The rest is going to be like 15. It would have been 20, like 15% at $5, 15% at $8. And then the rest would be at 12. And I'll hold a little bit forever. Are you still saying bullish summer? I think so. But that's just an example of how I do things. I don't just like empty the clip all in one go on anything. No. All right, let's go to Clearpool. Is it okay to add to our positions now or wait? I think it's a good opportunity to DCA right now, for sure. I just typed in DCA. It is hot down here, y'all. I'm over here sweating. Okay, Clearpool looks good. I like this chart. This looks good to me. Let's see what the inflation is on this. Okay, too much inflation, it looks like. What day was this? 2021? Yeah, so this right here, this peak right here, you got to pay attention to market cap. Look at this. So they've been dumping supply. Now, most of it is already gone, but man, I would say a retracement on market cap is what you could be looking for. And that's about $200 million market cap. So 1x. That's a lot. Look, that inflation is parabolic. That market cap went parabolic. But over here, it's not. But when we look at the price, this is parabolic. So no, I don't like this as an investment. No. Way too much inflation. This should have been an all-time high. If there was no inflation, this would have been minimum to $6. So, no, I don't like that. I think it's going to retrace 30 cents. How low do you think Bitcoin Dominance will drop? High 40s, low 50s has been my target. What about gold right now? I also sold, I think 30% of my gold. Gold is parabolic. I buy gold, I buy silver every week. I think silver out of precious metals is the play. But this is what, listen, this is at the macro parabolic level. Like, that's vertical, especially for precious metals. Like, you don't just see that. Now, gold is different in that it's not going to, like, fall off a cliff. It's not going to, you know what I mean? It's not going to, like, crash 50% or something like that. That's not going to happen. But this is basically what I anticipate for gold. Out of the precious metals, though, I think that silver is a much better value right here. This is already at the macro 2618. The 3618 would take you to 4200. We could go there. But in all likelihood, we're going to chop here and be sideways for a good minute. But I sold 30% of my gold already. I believe I got it at 3,400, 3,300, something like that. I don't remember exactly what I got. I think I sold 30 at 3,400. Yeah, ADA. I like ADA better. Ski made like 400K already, and it ain't even alt season. Savage. Yeah, I mean, I've done well. Bitcoin was my biggest holdings. Then XRP, and I took profit on both of those. I accumulated a lot at under 20K for Bitcoin. I accumulated a lot under 30 cents for XRP. Ski, in your opinion, do we have 45 days or less at these prices? Last chance. I'm going to give you a cop-out answer. I think there's a high... Okay, so look, let's back up. Okay, yeah, 45 days, yeah, I think that's reasonable. So there's basically two scenarios for Bitcoin. Scenario number one. Scenario number two. I think we're doing this one, which would put us at T-minus like 28 days. But this one is on the table, and this would be more like 45 to 60 days. This one is the one that looks like what we're doing, however. And when we go like on a more zoomed in time frame, you can kind of see it a little bit more clearly. So that's what I think that we're doing. Like you can even see like almost candle for candle. We've been following this. That's what I think we're doing. But this is on the table. I think this is less likely. This would put us more at the 45-day range. If that makes sense. Griffin. The nose ski. What's a probable price target for ADA? Is $4. All right, let's check out Griffin. I saw a theory that Bitcoin dominance correlates with M2 money supply. What's your take on that? I'd have to look into that. If you could send me the information on that, I could give you like, I think this is right. I think that this is wrong. Here's why. I could dive deeper into it. Show me where you saw that. Tag me in something. And maybe I'll make a video on that. All right. Let's check out Griffin. Make sure you guys drop a follow. This is my new account. I will still never message you first. Solnick is my number one 100x play right now. And it's literally at the best value that you're going to get, in my opinion. I do not think you are getting a better value, period. All right, so I like this chart. Again, let's check the inflation. I don't know. Spell it Solnic. Also follow Ski Sports. Yeah. I think we're gonna do a live stream tonight. Is this the right Griffin? What happened? Is this it? Yeah, no thank you, bro. No thank you. Griffin hasn't posted on X since April. Yeah, that's a terrible sign. Listen, and I talk about this too. I talk about this a lot. It's easy to be awesome when everything is awesome. What are you? What are you when it sucks? How do you respond when it sucks? This goes for everything in life. This goes for you. This goes for your business. This goes for everything. But it certainly goes for a cryptocurrency project. How do they respond when it sucks? Do they go silent? Do they go quiet? What in the world? Hold up. Do they go silent? Do they go quiet? Is that what they're doing? If that's what it is, that's what they are. They're telling you what they are. Because what you are when it sucks, what a project, a person, a operation is at the worst time, that doesn't make you this. It reveals what you really are. Because it's easy to front run. Anybody can be awesome when it's awesome. But what are you when it sucks? That reveals. It didn't make it that, right? It didn't make you become this thing that you weren't. It revealed what you really were. And so that's a really good indication of a project and its strength. Where can I buy Solnic? You can buy Solnic on Crypto.com wallet. You can buy it on Soulflare, Phantom. You can buy it with MoonPay. You can buy it on Jupiter. You can buy it on Coinbase wallet. You can buy it on SetoX. The unknown says ADA not hitting near $2 at this point. Time is running out for alts. Or what? Time is not real for alts. Time is real for us in our boat. Time is real for us in our vacation. Time is real for us in our retirement. Time is not real for altcoins. TikTok got banned. My TikTok did get banned. But then I opened up a new one, and guess what? I started getting more views than my old account. So someone paid $3,000 for nothing. Is the bottom in? Yes. I think so. And I have a new beard bet. A new beard bet has been dropped. What is the new beard bet? Bitcoin will not reach 92K before it, and I made this bet at 99K. I know it's fine to be like, you know, maybe I made it at 101. It's at 107, so you're going to be like, man, look at this front runner. I made this bet a couple days ago. Bitcoin will not reach 92K before it reaches a new all-time high, or I will shave my beard. XLM, please. $1.11, 222. Should have put that 3K into Solnic. Would have been more ROI. Yeah, Solnic is my number one 100x play. Did you... Bro, will you quit? Get out of here, bro. My cat is like... thinks I'm trying to play with him. This isn't my cat. This is my wife's cat. Me and him, we just coexist together. He's just like... he's here and I'm here. But we ain't really cool like that. Bro, get out of here. I'm not playing with you. Is 94 too risky for your beard? Not really, but I could see it on like a liquidation wick. Here's the secret. You guys want to know the secret? I bet my beard many times, and many times my beard keeps growing. Here's the secret to that. I only bet it when I am 100% confident that my beard will stay safe. It doesn't feel like it when we're at 97K or 98K. It doesn't feel like my beard's safe. It's safe, though. Yeah, bro. Me and this cat, we just coexist together. He's here, I'm here. We're just coexisting in this life together. But we're not really cool like that. Did your ADA prediction go up in that ADA video? It should have. Will you donate your beard to Locke's charity? Listen, it's not happening. That's the thing. But sure, if I shave my beard, I will pay my debts like a man. And sure, I'll donate it. That's fine. But I bet it because it's safe. I bet my beard many times. And many times my beard keeps growing. ADA prediction, $2, $4, $6, $8. Crypto bull run does not last forever. Bear market will come. You are correct. Which is it, though? No one's claiming that a bear market's not going to come. No one said that. No one has said that. Hi, Skis. What's up, fam? What is up? What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Make sure I spam the like button, hit the share. Quant thoughts. I like quant. It does not have high inflation. Will Bitcoin go down to 103? Now, 103 I think is super plausible, right? Yeah. Super plausible. We could definitely get rejected off of this and make it lower low. And then people are going to be like, see, nana and a boo-boo. And then we could definitely roll over and come back to 103. That's definitely in the cards, for sure. That's super plausible. Now, is it going to happen? I don't know. But that's very plausible. ETH, sending you the likes. I appreciate it, brother. Hi, Ski. What's up, Chinas? Good to see you. How come 4 prices for ADAs and not the others? There's no reason. There's no real reason. It's easy one to remember for ADA because the targets are so easy to remember. It's literally just 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we? It's just easy math. I don't need to think about it. Where like other ones, 3 is less bandwidth to think about. What's the word on Sonic? Almost 5% of the supply is locked, and I believe it is deep in Wyckoff accumulation. Obviously, some people panic sold because of the war. That's fine. But the Sonic army keeps marching along. I do not think you're getting a better price than where we're at right now. Can you talk about XRP? My targets for XRP are $5, $8, $12, and I think we have gotten a micro confirmed bear trap. What did I just say? I think I just said something wrong. $5, $8, $12. I don't know what I said, but those are my targets. This is a confirmed bear trap to me. What do you do when it doesn't make sense to buy crypto? What do you mean by that? when it doesn't make sense to buy crypto. And what scenario are we talking about? Give me like a real IRL scenario when it wouldn't make sense to buy crypto. While alt's going down, while Bitcoin is moving up. Is that true? Let's see. I guess it is. Yeah, this is the finality of how it works at the end with Bitcoin dominance. It's always darkest before the dawn. What is a bear trap? Okay, good. I would like a clarification question from Ali. If we could get that. What is a bear trap? Okay, so what happens is, here's how the market operates. Here's how the market operates, okay? There's a lot of traders and there are the market makers. And generally the market makers are trading, or the traders are trading against the market makers. And the market makers are the apex predators. And they know where the trades are at. They know where the orders are. They know where the stop losses are. Okay, and what do traders do is they will do this right here, what I've done. They will put a line in the sand. Right? My God. My God. There we go. They'll put a line in the sand, right? And they'll draw out this line and they'll say right here, as long as we hold this, right here, I did this. This is my line. As long as we hold this, we're A-okay. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then what do the market makers do? They take that line out. And the market will become bearish. Okay? Meaning, if a bear were to hit you, you would go down. If a bull were to hit you, you would go up. Right? So if someone is bearish, they think it's going to go down. And so what do the traders do? They flip bearish and they start putting in their shorts. Right? They start putting in their shorts, meaning they're betting money that the market will go down. And the market makers trap the bears because then it goes right back up to the range and they steal their money. That's called a bear trap. The opposite is true with the bull trap. You see bull traps all the time. You see bear trap. This is the bull trap right here. You see bear traps, you see bull traps. But this is a bear trap. Trap the bears. The bears thought because we broke this line that we were going to be bearish and we are going to make a new low. So they started betting money that the market would go down. And then they lost their money. So that's what a bear trap is. All right. That is going to be it for this time, y'all. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. You can become a member on TikTok and support the work that I do. I put out lots of exclusive content over there, uploading at least a few times a week. I'm giving like in-depth analysis and giving in-depth analysis on coins that you guys pick as well. So if you guys want to support the work that I do, you can become a member. We're trying to get that up over 50, and I think TikTok gives me some sort of badge or whatever. And they help me, I don't know. So if you want to support the work that I do, you can become a member. I put exclusive content out there. Make sure you guys follow all of my accounts. I have Skis Farm. I have Skis Crypto. We have Skis Sports if you're into sports. I think we're going to be live streaming over there later this evening if anybody wants to hop on NCAA and get their butt ran over. Literally. Get 21 nilled on NCAA, you guys can do that too. You guys can play with me on there. All right. But that's going to be it for this time. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Peace, love, prosperity.